Hi, in this tutorial we are going to have a look at how to import data from Excel into SPSS. So the data we're going to use, which you can download from a link in the description, is actually my YouTube data from this channel. So you can see how woefully unsuccessful it is. Okay, let's have a look at the format of the data before we import it. So basically, the first row is kind of labels for each of the columns. So these are like the variable names. So that's something to bear in mind when we get to the importing stage. Secondly, there's this row of information which is like totals. So it's like total values under each of those columns. And when we import into SPSS, we probably don't want this row. So in SPSS, we generally format data or structure data so that each row represents an entity. So in this case, the entities are videos on my YouTube channel, and columns represent information about those entities, so information about each video. So we don't generally want things that are like summaries of the columns. So that's something we're gonna, well, it's a complication, let's put it that way. But other than that, each row in our data represents a video that's on this channel when I published it, and you can see some of them are very old. In fact, importing data into SPSS is 13 years old, which is why I'm finally getting around to updating it. And then, it's got the information that YouTube chugs out. So let's get this into SPSS. So let's fire up SPSS. We've got a blank data editor. To import this, we go to File, Import Data, and then Excel. Navigate to here I've got these data stored in a folder. So navigate to the folder, and you want to choose the file that you want to import. So I've got this one here, YouTube data. You can download this, as I said, from a link in the descriptions, and click Open. And what this does is it opens up a kind of helper which allows you to import this information. And it gives you a preview of what it's going to look like down here. So first of all, you can pick a particular worksheet. So in the file we're importing, there is only one worksheet, but if you had several, you can use this drop-down box and it would list all of the worksheets that you have. So you can pick a particular one. You can also specify a range within the worksheet that you want to import. So for example, it might be tempting. Do you remember I said we don't want the information in the second row? It might be tempting for us to use this to say, well, we only want to import everything from the first column, row 3, to column J, row 130. There's actually 130 rows in the data. So this is like standard Excel format. So if we do this, the first thing we would need to do is we need to switch off this option here. So at the moment, we're asking SPSS to read the variable names from the first row of data. And we're saying here that the first row of data is the third row. So we're starting off in the third row. So what it will do is it will grab the third row and treat all the information in there as variable names. So you can see down here, if we flick back to Excel, row 3, the first entry in there is NCHJJ4X blah 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 blah. Then the title is importing data, etc., etc., etc. So what SPSS is going to do is it's going to treat those bits of information that has the variable name. So it's going to call the first variable NCHJJ blah blah blah. It's going to call the second one import, and so on and so forth. So we would need to deselect that, and then it just doesn't name any of the variables, but it starts importing the information at row 3, which might be what you want, but it means you are going to have to then label all your variables once you have them in SPSS. SPSS will have a guess at what type of data is in each column, and you can adjust the percentage of values that it uses to determine this, but the defaults are fine. If there are hidden rows or columns, by default they're ignored. So in Excel you can hide columns. If you have hidden columns and you want them included in your import, you would have to deselect this. And these are quite useful too. Sometimes you might, where you've got text variables, if you've accidentally put a space before or after, ticking these boxes, it will look for spaces at the beginning or the end of text, and it will kind of cut it off. So that's a useful thing to do. So if we click on OK, it imports our variables, but as I said, it's given them all just names of v1, v2, whatever. So we would have to go into the variable view and we'd have to rename them. So variable 1 is the video ID, variable 2 was title. So we could go on down here, you know, so on and so forth, and give them some labels here as well. SPSS has had a guess at what the variables are. So the video ID, it's treated as text, a nominal variable, or a string, and treated as nominal. Same with the title, which recognizes it's a string variable, treated as nominal. And the same with the third variable, which is the date, is treated as a string. You might want to change that to be a date variable, for example. Our fourth variable was, can't remember to be perfectly honest. What was it? Duration. So we call that duration. Give it a label. I assume duration's in seconds. Anyway, you get the general idea. So you could go in putting titles in. An alternative to doing that is in your Excel file, delete this row that we don't want. And then save this. I'm just going to put edit on the end so that I know that I've edited it and I don't save over the original data. And then when we import into SPSS, we can still go File, Import Data, Excel. But here we pick the one with edit at the end. And we can sort of leave everything as it is. We don't have to select a range anymore. We can read the variable names from the first row of data because there isn't now that sort of row of data in row 2 that's going to mess things up. And then by doing this, we can set the same options as before. We will get variable labels, which is, you know, potentially helpful because SPSS has already tried to sort of give us some sensible labels and made some sensible variable names here, which, you know, you might want to change them, but it's kind of, you know, at least you sort of know what's in each column. And if we look in the data view, you can see it's sort of made variable names out of that first row of information in the Excel file. That's kind of all there is to it, really.